Greetings all. Welcome to a special early edition of the Green Garden Guys show. I'm still in my coffee. Well, it all has to do with inspiration, as I've said before. That's why I'm here. It's 6:15. We just barely got enough sunlight. You can see my face. Yeah, Gracie, my cat, she makes a point of getting me out of bed at 5:15 or so every morning, quarter after. Yeah, she's been doing that ever since she got to the house. It varies a few minutes, one way or another. Every once in a while she goofs up, she gets an hour off, but most of the time it's quite exact. She will sleep down there at the foot of the bed and come wandering up somewhere around 5:13 in the morning, sit on top of me and start purring and go, "Come on, Bill, I'm hungry and I need to go out." Well, I tend to be an early riser, so agreeing with the cat wasn't a big problem for me. And so ever since she got in the house, I've been getting up just after 5. I've been up for an hour now. She's out there somewhere in the rain. Maybe you can hear the rain behind me. Yeah, we're getting a drizzle here. It's pretty thick this morning. So, the usual process after coming down the hallway, dropping my clothes in the front room, stopping by the men's room, and then I head over and give Gracie a bowl of food, and then turn the coffee pot on, sit down in the dark, pull a blanket up over myself on a chair, and just wait. Either whichever comes first, either the coffee pot finishes and I go get it, or the cat will begin to meow and say, "Bill, please let me out. I got to go to the bathroom." Yeah, usually it's the cat first. We got the program down pretty well. She knows that until the coffee pot stops making noise, it's probably better not to pester me. So, I let the cat out. And I got back down in the chair and I started thinking about that warm cup of coffee and poured myself one. I was sitting there under the blanket. It was pretty dark. Well, little by little by little, the light started to come back to the sky. It does that every morning. Yeah, it's pretty amazing how it does that every morning. But, yeah, it started to light up. And, well, I had that sensation that I periodically get of sitting on this large ball of earth and rock and metal, turning at a high rate of speed and rotating towards a star. It's at a huge distance, but just the right distance for us. And little by little, the photons started to increase and the light came on. And well, I just had to think about all this stuff going around. Our rock rotating, our star, start thinking about the whole solar system, and then beyond, all of those galaxies out there. Every time I fall in that state of mind, boy, do I feel small. Yeah, I began to feel like a germ. Our own self-interests are so great, and, everything is so important to human beings, yet we're in dust mode. Individually, every one of us is just a speck. Collectively, yeah, we could change the whole planet, either by cooperating or not cooperating. Be nice if more people understood that one, huh? Yeah, people get together and start to work towards something. They can do a lot. Collectively. We're a bit like an ant colony. One little ant by itself ain't much, but get the whole colony rolling, you change the world. At least with humans, we could. The ants could build one heck of a big anthill. Yeah, so it brought to mind some of the other times when I felt like a dust mote. Periodically, I shrink to that size. I realize how my own self-importance is pretty false. It's just an illusion, how important things are to me. What's going on here, And so, yeah, I realize I get worked up over a whole lot of nothing most of the time, and I'm nothing getting worked up over nothing. I kind of flashed back to a memory of probably one of the first times I had that experience. I was in Superstition Wilderness in Arizona, backpacking. I went up Fish Creek Canyon. Pretty amazing place. The Sonoran Desert in Superstition Wilderness is, saguaro cactuses and agaves and stuff like that. It's dry, Gila monsters, rattlesnakes. But Fish Creek Canyon is nice, cold mountain water coming off 4 peaks, I think, and pouring down through this crack in the earth that's full of walnut trees and sycamore trees and ferns and grasses and stuff you wouldn't really imagine to find right in the middle of the desert, including fish. And they call it Fish Creek, and there are some fish in there. Oh, and is it cold water? Ooh. Well, I was sitting there on a rock in the middle of Fish Creek and just relaxing, and the rock had a scoop carved out of it from water motion over time, and it was literally causing the creek itself, as it flowed forward downhill, to roll over on itself and do a complete 360. It did a rooster tail on itself before it turned back in and went past the rock and flowed down the rest of the creek. I said, man, that's pretty amazing. I wonder how much time does it take water to scoop a rock out so that water can defy gravity and turn over on itself like that. Well, the sense of eons was immense. I guess it impacted me. I said, man, that takes a long time. I'm sure it does. A long, long time. Well, I had been sitting there thinking about my own troubles in life, and when I looked at that rock, I realized how there ain't nothing of me. I mean, I was a dust mote in the midst of an enormous cosmos that was so self-important that I had deceived myself into believing that I actually mattered. In the scheme of things, the truth of the fact is that, in the grand scheme of things, human beings individually, or probably even the human race, it don't matter. No, because things perpetuate themselves here. As I got up this morning and I watched the light, and the light was coming on us. Well, why? Because of the Earth rotating towards the star. It does that every day without falter. All my life, as far as I know, for the most part, most of all history, prehistory, and on back to the beginning of time, that thing's been rolling around. This perpetual thing. It's huge. It's huge. Why everything wants to spin, I don't know. No one really knows. Scientifically try to explain it due to gravity and rotation and all, but it's probably a pretty good thing that every once in a while I realize how my feelings and my persona and my entire life are absolutely meaningless. Now, okay, argue with me. There's a few people out there probably who think, oh, that guy Bill, God, is he a pain. I hate him. Okay, yeah, they get those. I think most of them have probably said, oh, I'm glad I met the guy, who was pretty good. I hope. And there's more out there who listen to the channel who say, oh, I really thank you. I get the thank yous all the time. You best believe that when someone comes back to me on the channel and says, hey, Bill, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. I needed that help, which is pretty much why I put the channel up. I guess, being able to help others makes me feel like I might be worth something. That little speck of dust over here has this slightly more meaning when I can help other people. So I appreciate it. Yep, this speck of dust over here really likes it when someone gives them a stroke. Not quite sure what hour sunrise was supposed to be. It's pretty misty and cloudy, so I couldn't tell you whether the sun's actually up or not, but it looks pretty light. I think the sun must have come up by now. Well, welcome to the earliest edition of the Green Garden Guy show ever recorded. Aloha. Have a nice